Sue Wilkie, and I'm talking to author Mike Ledingham. Mike, you've published a number of books now. You've written a number of books published by BMS Books. The latest one is The Catholic Boys. It's taken a long time to write this book. Why is that?
Well, there's a few reasons, and one is that when it happens to you, you're that traumatised by it, you don't want people to know about it. No, you keep it into yourself. And I ran for years, you know, like I was running and getting into trouble, and you know, and then I ended up getting married in my 30s and started having kids, and I settled down a bit, and I began to think, well, I should write a story, you know, because I was always good at writing stories up till the time I was abused. And so yes, I started about 95 writing in exercise books, longhand, and I started the story, The Catholic Boys, and then in 2000 we found out about Chris, who was our younger brother, and he was a very gentle creature, and he didn't like to fight or anything, and we were always told to be his protector, Gerry and I, and to find out he was abused as well just disgusted me, you know. So we went public because the Catholic Church wouldn't speak to us, and we pushed it, and they delayed and did everything they could to get out of it, and delayed, denied, whatever they do, claimed no money. So that took about a year, and so I went back to that story. After that I went back to the story and I was writing it, but I got disgusted with it and put it away. But about when I met Mike and I told him that I'd written it, he was always interested in it. And just reading those comments by those bishops in Australia, one of them said, for the victim of being sexually abused, it's like having contact with God by the priest. That just sickened me, and I picked it up again and started doing it again. You know, that's terrible, you know, that's delusion, I think, you know. They've just got no idea.
So The Catholic Boys is quite a small book, but it chronicles the abuse and the effects of that abuse on three of your family.
Yeah, each of the boys tells their own story, and Mary once said to me, we always wondered why you three never seemed to be worried about money or qualifications, you know, because we had this little secret that we had to keep quiet, you know. So.
And the book is now being published at a time when there's sort of like a world spotlight, and certainly a strong spotlight in New Zealand on the abuse. Is that going to be particularly helpful, do you think?
I think so. I think people need to look beyond what the Catholic Church says. They'll tell you everything, but you don't know the story that goes on. We people who've dealt with them, we know the story that goes on. Dr. Murray Beasley has said a conservative estimate of their wealth is $3.5 billion in real estate, and they tell you they've got no money. They actually showed us a balance sheet that said they had no money when we went for our hearing, you know, but they have got money, and they're criminal because those people committed crimes against children and other people covered it up. So it's a criminal offence. If you or I did something like that, we'd be in jail. Why aren't they?
So the book details in quite strong terms what you think you missed out on and what your two brothers missed out on. Is it possible to get some sort of amends?
Some sort of
amends?
No, I don't think there's ever closure. My brother in Perth, Gerry, who hasn't come because he hates them that much, he says you'll never get closure, but he said he'd like to see justice, and I'm the same. I think somewhere somebody's got to stand up, take responsibility, and maybe set up a trust and a non-aligned committee to deal with the victims, because they can't do it, because they're always going to look after themselves, you know, as they do.
So you're in your late 60s now, Mike, and this happened when you were a primary school boy?
Yeah, about 7 or 8, maybe 9, yeah.
So it's lived with you a long time?
It has, yeah.
And you were older than your two brothers?
Yes. And our mum used to say to us, look after your little brothers, and when I found out about Chris I felt responsible, but it happened to me too, but none of us knew it was happening to the other one, you know. He was very cunning.
So you're making submissions yourselves?
Yes.
In Auckland?
Yeah, on Wednesday, yeah.
And the book is being published this late this month, in May.
Yeah.
And how does the rest of your family feel about it?
Pros and cons. Some some aren't very happy with it. I think they were, the girls were practising Catholics. None of the boys are, I don't think, but I don't know how it sits, and we've agreed not to talk about it, you know, sort of, yeah, you know, like it's, you have to be aware of other people's feelings, I know, but it's something that has to be done, I feel, you know, not only for myself and my brothers, but all the other victims. Through another victim, we found out he knows about 5 or 6 others that it did or may have happened to, you know, so who knows how far it goes.
So do you feel as though you're brave telling the story?
No, no.
Why not?
Because it just seemed natural, you know. Once we went public in 2000, once we went public it was out there, you know. But yeah, so no, it needs to be told.
And the book is published by BMS?
Yeah, Mike Smith. Yeah.
And it's
He's
called
been my publisher for all my books.
And it's called The Catholic Boys?
Yeah.
And it's available how?
You can get it on Mike's website, or go to your library and tell them to get a copy, or go to your bookshop and tell them to order it. And as I've said, it's humorous, it's cynical, but it's also sad. You'll get a laugh, but you might get a cry too.